enslaved or born enslaved. And most of us will die that way too, without even knowing it. Here's what the science says. Stanford neurobiologist Robert spent decades studying genes, hormones, childhood, culture, stress, and his conclusion, which he published in 2023, is this: there is no free will. Every single action you take is the result of chain that goes back seconds, days, years, centuries. Your neurons fired because of a thought, which happened because of a memory, which was shaped by your childhood, which was built on your parents' childhood, which came from a culture or which came from a history. Turtles all the way down. A seamless chain of causality stretching back in the time without a crevice for free will to lodge in. And then there's Benjamin Libet in the 1980s. He wired people to brain monitors and asked them to flick their wrist whenever they feel like it. Simple. He found that unconscious brain activity leading up to the decision to move began approximately half a second before the subject consciously felt that they had decided to move. हाफ अ सेकेंड मतलब तुम्हारा कॉन्शियस माइंड वो मैं जो सोचता है कि मैंने चूज किया, वो सिर्फ एक नरेटर है। स्टोरी ऑलरेडी लिख दी गई है तुम्हारे जागने से पहले, एंड बिफोर यू से ओके बट लिबर्ट्स एक्सपेरिमेंट वाज जस्ट अ wrist movements. Robert answer is focusing on microseconds before an action neglects everything that came before. The real chain is longer, much longer. तुम्हें अपना डीएनए नहीं चुना, आप अपना टेम्परमेंट नहीं चुना, पहला डर नहीं चुना, जिस भाषा में तुम सोचते हो वो भी तुमने नहीं चुनी। तुम एक ऑलरेडी रिटन प्रोग्राम हो, रनिंग ऑन हार्डवेयर यू डिडंट बिल्ट इन एन एनवायरनमेंट यू डिडंट डिज़ाइन। तो फिर ये मैं कौन है? Here's where it gets interesting because Osho said something that cuts deeper than any neuroscientist. Whatever is physical in you, material, whatever is mental, is predetermined. But something in you constantly remains undetermined, unpredictable. That something in your consciousness, if you are identified with your body and your material existence in the same portion you are determined, then you are a machine. But if you are not identified, if you can feel yourself as something separate, above, and transcendent to the body mind, then transcending consciousness is not predetermined, it is spontaneous, free. Consciousness means freedom, matter means slavery. Notice what Osho is not saying. He is not saying you are born free. He agrees with science. You were born pure, just pure, innocent consciousness, and then layers upon layers of conditioning made you a puppet. The strings are in someone else's hands. Like your religion was given to you before age 7, your fears were installed before you could question them. Your idea of success, of beauty, of what a man should be, what a woman should be, like it's none of it was yours. Even if you become anti something, your anti will carry the original conditioning with it. Your will be like you will be obsessed with something in reverse order. Like तुमने रिबेलियन भी चूज नहीं की, वो भी एक कंडीशनिंग का ही एक और रूप है. So we are just machines then, just biological robots dreaming of agency. Like Osho's answer is sharp. He says, most people, yes, most people are exactly that. Your freedom is possible only if you are not engaged in your habits, like unconscious patterns of living, and most people never even notice the cage. But and ये but बहुत बड़ा है. Libet himself said something that gets ignored. He said, the tendency to press a button may be building up for 500 milliseconds, but the conscious mind retains the right to veto any action, like it, veto any action at the last moment. The veto, that's the gap. स्टिमुलस और रिस्पॉन्स के बीच एक छोटी सी जगह जहाँ कुछ और पॉसिबल है. Osho called it witnessing. If there is anger, be a witness to it. Let whatever is happening inside you, let it happen and meditate it or meditate on it. By the more your awareness deepens, the lesser possible. possibility there is of your behavior being determined for you. You become free. This is not mysticism, this is the same thing neuroscience calls neuroplasticity. The brain physically rewires through awareness, meditation, deliberate practice. Biology is not just destiny, it's a starting point. तो फाइनल आंसर क्या है? हम इंस्लेव्ड पैदा होते हैं, बायोलॉजी ने बनाया, सोसाइटी ने और पक्का किया, और ज़्यादातर वो लोग पूरी ज़िंदगी वही एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं जो उन्हें प्रोग्राम किया गया गया है। और इसमें अपनी पर्सना इसे और इसे ही अपनी पर्सनालिटी कहते हैं। लेकिन कॉन्शियसनेस अगर तुम्हारे पास वो है, अगर तुम देख सको कि क्या हो रहा है और क्यों, तो एक गैप खुलता है। लाइक फ्रीडम इज समथिंग इनर, it is it is of the consciousness. You can be free anywhere, chained in a jail you can be free, and you can be unfree in your own home, visibly free, but a prisoner if your consciousness is not free. तो शायद क्वेश्चन ये नहीं है कि हम फ्री बॉर्न हुए हैं या इंस्लेव्ड, शायद क्वेश्चन ये है कि कितने जागे हुए हो तुम अभी। क्योंकि अगर तुम देख सकते हो कि कैसे तुम्हारी तुम्हारी बायोलॉजी तुम्हें कैसे कंट्रोल कर रही है, कैसे तुम्हारी कंडीशनिंग तुमसे बोल रही है, कैसे तुम्हारा पास्ट तुम्हारा प्रेजेंट चला रहा है, तो कुछ तो है जो हो रहा है। और वो कुछ बायोलॉजी भी नहीं है,